to the Wager Makers Podcast with Web and Smitt.
Brick by brick, baby. I'm freaking out, Web.
I was told there'd be no man. Stupidity's going to be an asset. What a bunch of crybabies.
Hello, my name is Steve Smith, and this is Rob Weber. Say hey, Web.
Hello. What's up, Smith?
What's up, Web? I'm Smith, that's Web, and we are the Wager Makers. Thank you all for joining us. This is our post-Super Bowl show. Talk a little bit about the GOAT. Getting another ring. Had a big day yesterday. A lot of good videos of seeing the GOAT be a human being for a day. So we'll talk a little bit about that. Web, human. This is Wager Maker number 81.
81. I didn't have too much, man. I'm going to have to rely on you. I mean, I had a couple that come to me. The first one was Terrell Owens. I'm not real happy about that. I will not. I have a couple I'm going to argue for here as we go through this, so I'm really not going to give you a hard time about anything with 81.
I don't think Terrell Owens is a bad choice. Of course, Tim Brown was another very good 81. Great Notre Dame player, great Raiders player, but I think Terrell Owens is the best receiver probably to ever wear the 81 jersey.
All right, well, fuck that. Let's just backtrack. Let's not just let's pretend that Tim Brown didn't go to Notre Dame, and then we'll use Tim Brown as the 81.
All right, Heisman Trophy winner, Trophy winner Tim Brown.
Yes,
but I think T.O. is a far better player than Tim Brown ever was. So just you don't like what is your beef? Just too much drama with the T.O.?
Well, now you're going to give me now it's a Cowboy. I'm not giving. Now you're giving me a hard time about that too. Like, can I win?
What's the voiding of T.O.? Is it too much drama in his life?
Oh yeah. Why would I? Why T.O.? Well, that's my question.
Because he's probably one of the greatest receivers that ever played the game.
He was all right.
He was all right. All right. Come on.
Tim Brown was better.
Come on, dude.
Who would you rather have on your team? T.O. or Tim Brown? Tim Brown.
T.O.
No,
T.O. And you know what's the shame about T.O.? Like what you're talking about with T.O. I'm assuming you're talking about just like a cancer to the team and drama brings drama to the team.
I'm just saying he's a douchebag. I'm not talking about cancer. I'm just saying he's an asshole. I don't want. I try to. I'm 50 years old now. Try to eliminate assholes from my life. So why would I give T.O. any love when there's other candidate? That's all.
Right.
And now you're going to get every week I get shit about Cowboys. Now I don't give it to a Cowboy. I still get shit from you.
Well, you pick it up every week with a Cowboy. I mean, what's
not this week? I try.
Not every player from 0 to 100 has the best player as the Cowboy. But that's
I'm trying not to give it to a Cowboy, and you're telling me still we have to give it to a Cowboy then. So you're making it about the Cowboys this week, not me.
I didn't even bring up the Cowboys. I didn't bring up the Cowboys.
On the Cowboys?
What?
T.O. was never on the Cowboys?
Yeah, but I'm not talking about T.O. with the Cowboys. I'm talking about T.O. with the 49ers.
No, good then. So he's good for like 5 years, not 12 years.
All right. So anyway, what I was going to say is a disappointing thing about T.O. is, and why you have a problem with T.O. and why I would have a problem with T.O. is he's not good teammate kind of material, not a good guy you want on your team. What I'm saying is the first time I ever remember T.O. at all was one of the best, great sports moments, and one of those times you're like, oh man, this guy really gets it. He's going to be he was playing for the 49ers, and it was a playoff game against Green Bay, and it was Steve Young was playing quarterback, and T.O. was a young wide receiver at the time, might have been a rookie if I'm not mistaken. I still remember this game, and he had a lot of drops during the game. T.O. had a terrible game, and then it was the play where Steve Young dropped. They were probably at the 30-yard line, and he threw a long slant for a touchdown. It was like the last play of the game. They had one shot to throw a touchdown pass. Steve Young zips one in over the middle to T.O. He catches it, goes down, catches it, touchdown. They win the game. It might have been a playoff game. And, T.O. is crying his eyes out after the game. Mariucci was the coach. Steve Young. Again, I was like, man, this dude gets it. Young guy, unproven. Had a rough game, few drops, good football story, and then he turned into a jerk.
I don't remember what you're saying at all. Fuck T.O. Let's move on.
I'll Google the game.
Yeah,
the exact
you do that. You do that.
Again, Weber Heartless. The Heartless. You got it. I'm trying to give you some. You have a little heart about a dude once.
About what? T.O.? No heart.
Yeah,
no,
about young T.O.
No,
Young T.O.
Yeah, okay.
Young T.O.
Yeah, young. Okay.
All right.
Didn't
Listen,
need
you
medication.
can't hate it, dude. Dude,
Clearly, he needs it. Crying.
You and T.O.
There's no crying in football.
You and T.O. have a lot in common. Romo's your guy. Romo's my quarterback. You my quarterback, man. Don't talk about quarterback.
Let's play the tape where I said Romo was my quarterback. Play the tape. I dare you. I dare you. Am I on a soapbox for Romo getting in the Hall of Fame? No.
I was going to ask you. Romo's in the list to get in the Hall of Fame. Is he in the Hall of Fame?
Why? No.
Well, because you say everybody
why
else
is he even considered? Why is he even consideration?
I don't know.
What did he ever do?
He played with a star on his helmet. That's usually all it takes.
Correct.
Sometimes.
Right. Correct. That's all it does take, but not him. Darren Woodson should be in.
Oh, he probably will be.
I hope. That's a stud. He's deserving. Romo, no, Romo.
All right. Speaking of quarterbacks that belong in the Hall of Fame, Webb, Kansas City, Tampa Bay. We had the pick. We not too many people had Tampa Bay win in this game. We had it. We had the over. For some reason, Tampa Bay's defense was so damn good. They didn't even let Kansas City get anything going.
Yeah, I mean, it's ponderous how they didn't get, another 21 points would have been there, but that seems like a lot, but it's really not when you're talking about Patty Mahomes. We clearly had the game pegged from the beginning. We mentioned your offensive line. That was the difference in the game. We mentioned the better team. Obviously, that was what it was. I'm just shocked that they couldn't, when they say, KC and Pat Mahomes specifically couldn't get a couple of garbage time scores. I thought we were in very good shape there going in to the second half, that, we were going to get a push at worst, but the other way, kind of, we'd certainly get the over and not, and we were getting the 3 points. So I thought we were in good shape, but you know what? We definitely had the game, I think, handicapped decently. So I'll take it.
All right. Well, we had it right. I'm going to pull in some of the experts we brought in last week. Number one, the Chickens had Kansas City.
Yep.
And I'm not going to blame the Chickens. I'll blame the chicken leader, the leader of the pack chickens.
The hen.
The big quack.
Fox,
the head quack. I don't know what's the. I don't want to say master. I think that's probably not allowed to say master.
What's the guy from Bugs Bunny? What was the guy's name? Bling Foghorn Leghorn. It was Foghorn Leg. That's his now name. That's Brad's name is now
Foghorn Leghorn with the Kansas City pick. I like it. I'm gonna call him that this week. All right, so he got it wrong. We had the psychic on, our girl Sasha. She had Tampa Bay, but she had it over as well. But she had some winners, some losers. She had the coin toss was wrong. She had tails. I believe it was heads. She had under. And look, that's what we're here. We're being honest. We're not like the other guys who just forget about those and tout the crazy touts that tell you stupid shit. She had the anthem under. That went well over. She had the headband wrong. I think she picked red, and Mahomes had white.
That was anticlimactic, Smith. I mean, he was like, I don't know, like 2 hours before the game, he was running around with a white headband on.
The Gatorade color, she had purple. Even Sharon had lemon lime. That ended up being blue.
But hey, listen, you got to give him a little credit. I mean, blue is odd. It's not like it was orange or traditional or what. Blue is odd. I will give both Sharon and Sasha some little bit of slack on that one.
She did say that the halftime show would be performed on a stage, which it was. And she did say, weirdly enough, Webb, that two numbers came to mind, 14 and 9, which at the time, nobody would have thought 9 would be Kansas City's final number. That what an odd number that was, with as great as their offense is. I think the 9 would come out is unbelievable. And then it took me a little looking to see what that 14 might be. I'm thinking, well, what could the 14 be? Gronkowski and Tom Brady, they broke a postseason record with the most combination touchdown passes postseason in history with 14. The two that Brady threw to Gronkowski gave them their 14th career postseason. It's a record. They broke a record it was Montana and Rice. And
so the record was 13, and then 14.
The record was 12. They got 2 this game to get it to 14. So I guess they were tied with the record, and they got it to 14.
Let me stop you there for a second. If you would have bet, I can't imagine the odds. If you would have bet the final, if Kansas City would have landed, I don't even know if they gave you odds. Kansas City with 9 points. I mean, you would have won I don't know, 100,000. I mean, I can only imagine what the odds were. I don't even think it probably wasn't even an option. But yeah, that's interesting that they did come in, those two numbers.
Yep. Yeah. So that was cool. And then one prop bet that we missed while we were doing our show last week, Webb. Will there or will there not be a streaker in the game? And apparently, Webb, we're just not thinking out of the box enough.
We are so square.
Oh my God,
we
dude.
are so square.
I would have if I would have done that in a heart. We would have done that in a heartbeat for 375K.
What a combo! The dude bet 100 and whatever he made. Unbelievable. Hey, good for them. Kudos to them.
Right. So I guess it was plus 750. And the dude won like 350. I forget how much you have to put on it to make $350,000, whatever it was.
You put I don't know, $1,000. I mean,
right.
Yeah, $3,000. I think that's times three. Yeah, unbelievable.
Right. And for those that don't know, so the streaker that happened, I think it was midway through the third quarter or something like that. The dude runs out on the field. Apparently, he had a bet in Vegas at plus 750 of whether or not there would be a streak or not. And him and his buddy both went.
Correct.
That way, if one of them got caught, the other one would make it through and do it. And then I don't know what was with
what the
pink,
legal ramifications were.
Thing. Right. I don't know what that was part of it, but and it wasn't really streaker. I think it was a person would run onto the field was the thing. So I didn't have to get naked or something.
Right. Some type of in some type of undress type thing. So you technically have to be naked. But I gotta tell you, Smith, I'm fucking furious at myself for not laying. I don't even know the amount of money that they would be on stage because that to me just seemed like I don't know. I mean, I hit a little like nickels in comparison to what I should have, and everything that was between all the boxes we had and the money that we wagered. I won some nickels on that. I guess I thought maybe it was too easy that they would be on some stage, and I didn't really understand it, so I was afraid I'd lay some serious wood and bet something that I wasn't understanding. But I did win the money on it, but it just. In hindsight, I was like, "Wow, that was just a gimme."
Yep. Especially with the COVID, they're not going to be like in a crowd, or the only other thing would be if they did themselves in a studio somewhere.
Right. I thought it would be similar. Right. It's like some type of back, like what you and I have here, like some pseudo backdrop type thing. That's what I was worried about. I don't know. It seems like I could have easily made a significant amount of money if I just, I don't know.
And then speaking of the halftime show, I'm so tired of hearing the people. Look, I don't know. We're sports fans. I get it. Like some of the things don't mean as much as like me. A lot of people complain about the halftime show or they praise it. Either one, it never is an issue to me. I'm usually at the bathroom, getting another beer, getting a snack, checking in with the wife at a Super Bowl party or something like that, making sure, I'm not stuck to the TV watching the
I'm going to be very honest here. It's one of the things that kind of gets me at the Super Bowl parties when we were at them, that my kids and my wife, that's going to buy me a couple, 3 beers into the third quarter type thing. Like they're going to watch that and then they're going to talk about it with the other way, Right. So that's going to get me to, 10 o'clock before we got to type leave. So I'm always a big fan of that. I like when it's somebody big. So that way it kind of buys me some time. I didn't watch it. I don't really care for it one way or the other. Like I said, I was more pissed off that I didn't have, $35,000 that there was going to be someone on the stage. But, it's always, That to me is, put someone good in there. It's going to let me get 3 more beers, get me through, halfway through the third quarter, at least before I got to get home.
And not only that, but I'm not ashamed to say I'm old enough. Maybe it's age, maybe it's whatever. I have no idea who The Weeknd is. I wouldn't know if he did a good performance or bad. I don't know what his songs are. You have young kids at your house.
That's the function of that. That's all straight. I know anything from my 9-year-old. That's all just a function of that. I do it when I get in my car. She grabs the thing, and then I'm listening to The Weeknd, Ariana Grande, and endless others. No clue. Some I like better, some I don't. But I did know who The Weeknd is. I have to confess.
Oh, good. And then,
but let me back. I didn't know. I wasn't sure if it was a person or persons
or a band.
Correct.
All right. So get into the game, Webb. What more can you say about the goat? He's the goat of goats. Anybody who's got an argument against the GOAT, I don't know what you're a hater. You're a hater.
I mean, I don't understand any of the whatever the word is, the hatred or anything nasty going towards Tom Brady. The dude, he does it right. He's not really a douche. I mean, he's a good-looking dude. He's got a smoking hot wife. I get that. I get the drag down on that. But even he had that situation with Mayhew with the honey badger, and then right after the game, the dude texts him and says, "Listen, man, I was in the middle of the thing. I apologize. Maybe I thought I'd get in your head a little bit." But how cool is that? Even the thing with after when they beat Breeze, he said same shit to him. And what was the other thing? He mentioned to someone else. We talked about.
Oh yeah, the Smith, Alex Smith. After
that's
the game,
what it was. He goes, "I'm your biggest fucking fan." I mean, I don't know. If you're hating on him, that's just a complete jealousy and bitterness situation.
Right. If you're hating on him, it's an issue with you.
Right.
You got an issue with yourself.
He's proven 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times that he's just good.
Right.
In most aspects of everything. So I'm happy for him. I'm glad he won. I'm not even doubting him. I do doubt they'd win a Super Bowl next year, but I damn sure believe they'll be in the playoffs next year.
Right. No doubt. And that team, man, they got pieces and parts, man. They got all kinds of good weapons around them. Not sure if they'll all be there again next year, but the defense, like Devin White, he's a young guy.
That dude's
Antoine Winfield Jr., young dude. Defensively, they're just learning how to play almost.
Another D back. I forget Bunting something. He's got to think of
a couple names or something.
He's another one who's just a rookie too. They may lose one. They may lose to Sue and another, maybe one of the other. But those guys, I mean, they got after it. Right. Kudos to the coaching staff. They had a ridiculous, and Smith, we saw it from almost the tip. These dudes were balling. They were leaving it all on the field. Yep. And it was a Super Bowl, and they were like, "Fuck, I don't care who we're playing." Could be Patty Mahomes, Joe Montana, fucking whoever. Troy, they were balling, and they were not going to be denied. Right.
They dominated. You kept thinking, well, Kansas City's going to come.
Yes.
You kept thinking, well, Kansas City's going to get something going. And man, they just every time they're just all over. They were all over Mahomes. And I know they had offensive line issues, but that's part of the gig, man.
Doesn't everybody?
Right. Exactly. So Brady, unbelievable, Webb, 7 Super Bowl. He's now got more rings than any franchise in the NFL.
I don't even know what I would even say. I mean,
the Patriots and Steelers both have 6. The Cowboys and Niners both have 5, and Tom Brady's got 7 Super Bowls.
I mean, there's nothing to say. The dude is just better.
He's been in the league, Webb, 21 years,
yep.
And he's been in a Super Bowl 10 times. That's every other. When you say these things out loud, it's just it's the reaction you're giving. You're just like, are you shit? Every other year of his career, he's been and not every other year of a 5-year career, every other year of a 21-year carear, he's been in the fucking Super Bowl.
It's funny you bring that up. I think if we would rewind almost probably, I don't know, what's a year, 12 months. If we go back 10 months, I think the Patriots, they probably missed the playoffs, or maybe they made the playoffs last year. I think it was the first time in his whole career last season that he didn't make it to the championship round or the second round or something of the playoff. So we talked about it.
I think this was the first year. This was the first year that he didn't. That he was a wild card in the playoffs. Every other year he had won a division,
right.
Something like that. So, so in 21 years, he's won 7. So he's won 1 out of every 3 Super Bowls in his career. Webb, when his first Super Bowl, here's the companies that, I thought this was a funny list. Here's the companies that advertised in the Super Bowl, AOL, Blockbuster, Circuit City, Sears, Radio Shack were some of the companies that advertised during his first Super Bowl. So
they beat who did they beat?
The Rams, I think, was the first year.
Yes, they beat the greatest show on turf. I was with Herm.
That was in New Orleans, I believe.
I was with Herm Sorcher in Manhattan. It seems like a lifetime ago, and that was Tom Brady's on there. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
Unbelievable. So hats off to him. We both have nothing but love for Tom Brady, man.
Well,
If you
power to him.
don't, and then I thought it was awesome, Webb. Did you see some of the videos this week of him out in town and
Yeah. Oh yeah.
and getting all drunk up?
More power to him. Like
Yeah,
he's just a dude, man. That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
Like I don't know what's everyone waiting for, or what the chink in that armor is going to be. There's none. Just come on, man. I mean, it's been, like we just said, it's been 21 years. There's no skeleton. There's nothing. Dude, when he fucks up, he admits it. When he wins, he has some humility to him. And he's messing with his kids. He's talking. I don't know, man. It just good dude, man. More power.
It was good to see. You never get to see him out there on the boats tossing. They tossed the Super Bowl trophy back to the other boat.
Hilarious. It was great.
Oh, that was funny stuff. And then he gets
great.
off. He looked like us at the end of the day, but we didn't win the Super Bowl.
Right. He looked like he had a couple too many, and good for him. That just shows you.
Right. And the thing about him is, man, like we've all seen the pictures of him from the combine.
Oh.
You know, this isn't a guy that was naturally gifted with athletic ability. This is a dude that works to the point of getting it to the spot. And it's about the attitude. There wasn't that many player changes in the Tampa Bay. And for a long time, he didn't even play that great this year. And he played well in the Super Bowl. He didn't make any mistakes, but really it's about changing the mentality of a team, you know, That's why when we talk about the GOATs, you know, and we talk about Jordan and LeBron, there's 5 guys on the floor at a time in that team. It's pretty easy if you're the right person to change the direction of a team in basketball or in baseball. If you're a pitcher and you're shutting a team down once every couple of days, it's a lot easier when you got a room full of 60 something guys and 60 something guys, 53 I think on game day, whatever the hell it is, that make a winning team a winning team. And one dude is this is a team that they pulled in Gronk and they pulled in Antonio Brown, maybe a couple other pieces, which Gronk had some big games here and there. Antonio Brown had a couple catches here and there.
Gronk literally played one game for them, and that was the Super Bowl.
Right. And when you're talking about, this is a team that hasn't made the playoffs.
And since they won the Super Bowl, which is a decade.
Right. Which is 20, I was going to say about 20 years ago, or at least, I don't know, something like that.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, we're talking about Gruden and
correct.
And Warren Sapp and
yep. Correct.
So, to change his thing is about mentality and focus and desire and all those things, I mean, it's pretty unbelievable. I think he's been in good situations in his past. Like there's a lot of times I think when he beat Peyton Manning in big games, when the Patriots just had a better overall team, but man, you can't argue with winning 1 out of every 3 Super Bowls in your life. There is no argument you're going to tell me that's going to tell me he ain't the fucking man.
Smitt, don't get it twisted. He won that first Super Bowl, I guess we're saying 21 years ago, however long. He was an underdog then. That was a ridiculous team. That was Kurt Warner. They dudes were scoring touchdowns like they're, inhaling air. Okay, and then a couple of years that they, maybe they were the badass on the block, but there's not many. Belichick really wasn't, padding that. They would bring in Randy Moss, they'd bring in Ocho Cinco after the fact type thing. But he was never, this is not a situation where it was LeBron James hooking up with fucking, the 3 biggest swinging discs in the league. This dude from the time, it was almost embarrassing. Like when he was a skinny kid, like trying to run in that combine. I mean, I'm sure he laughs at it now, but the dude worked and he did his thing. And clearly the sun, the moon, and the stars did align at some point for him, similar to what happened with Breeze and Sean Payton. But you cannot deny, especially after taking a different team. I mean, completely different team. When this dude walks in the building, it changes. It's literally a switch gets, it's like turning a light on or turning a light off. When he walks in, he's like, dude, and every guy from the offensive lineman to the punter to the dude, the gunner on the return team, the guy going down to make a tackle. Like, we got a shot here. This dude is not bullshit. Not only that, he's genuine. I mean, that's what they all said. Even Chris Godwin, you hear some stuff from August or whenever. Like the dude is just cool. Like Chris Godwin said, he walked in, he's like, yo, let me get your number. Like, it's like, right. How cool is that if Tom Brady walked in like, hey man, I'm gonna text you, I'm gonna hit you up in a couple minutes. We're gonna hook up, we're gonna hang out. I gotta throw something to you. Like, it's just unbelievable that from the guy who's cleaning the laundry guy, the equipment guy all the way up to the GM. He's just it's unbelievable what he does. And this is why me and you are trying to hammer into Perone's head that if you can get Deshaun Watson or who, it immediately legitimizes your entire franchise. It's unbelievable.
Perone's worried about how that's going to take away from an outside linebacker money later on or something like that.
He's worried about paying an inside linebacker $6 million, right?
Right.
Pay the quarterback.
Unbelievable. I can't say I don't want to go on a whole show of this dude, the goat of goats. No, if you don't think so, you just hate. I mean, I don't know.
Look at yourself. What has he done wrong ever in 21 years? And even when he fucks up, he's like, you know what? I fucked up. My fault. Let me go back and work.
Right.
He's good to, like I said, he's good from the janitor to the CEO and everyone in between. I got no problem with him. I'm glad he won. We called it. Our boy Plazinski said, I wonder where I heard someone say the better team is just Tampa Bay. You heard it on the Wager Makers podcast. It's where you fucking heard it.
And really, you've been hearing this all season long. We've been talking about this team.
We've been waiting.
Sometimes during the week, they let us during week 5 or week 6, they let us down a few times.
There's no doubt.
This team's going to come together.
And we said, you know what? Maybe they're just, and they did. I mean, listen, Smith, that defense was ridiculous. They were just balling. It was a joy to watch. Honestly.
No doubt at the end of the season who the best team was. They went through Green Bay. They went through New Orleans. They went through Kansas City like butter.
Right. I mean, they played 3 more games. They're going to win 3 more. I mean, they were just clicking. It was great.
Scary thought for Saints fans in the next couple of years if Brady sticks around.
Well, you got one more, I think. One more.
Yeah. So Sharon's funny take on I thought early in the game there were some calls that went Tampa Bay's way. Obviously, some pass interferences that were a little close calls and stuff like that. And she said, so she was rooting for Tampa Bay too. She agrees that he's the greatest of all time. So that's why it was good that we picked him too, because it would have been hard for me to sit here rooting for Kansas City while she was rooting for Tom Brady and stuff like that. So, and so she's like a true Saints fan. I've never been on the side that gets the calls on the team. And it's like, well, you're rooting for Tom Brady this week.
Yeah. I mean, I would, push pause. I would tell Devin, pump your brakes, Debbie. Pump your brakes. I don't know. Maybe there's 1 or 2 that was. I'm not going down that road, man. That's not happening.
It happens. Speaking of Devin, 0-1 lifetime. Let her know that Uncle Smitty. Let her know that
she wants to talk to you. We gotta do some prep. Yeah, she wants to talk to you. She told me. She's very upset. She didn't say the phrase Uncle Smitty. There's a couple things. It'll be a revision of that appearance.
Okay, fair enough. We doing that tonight or another time?
No. She's running around.
Tell her anytime. But I did when you told me that one on Super Bowl Sunday. I said, well, she said she wants to be on again. I said, well, we'll see how Kansas City does first.
All right. Well, yeah. Well, she ain't coming on. She's gonna let the music fade. She ain't gonna come on right quick. She ain't stupid.
She's not gonna face the music already.
Right, exactly.
All right, so Webb. Well, now the disappointing thing of this all means the football season coming to a close. Obviously, that's our heyday, but we got NBA hoops we want to announce right now. We're gonna have everybody out there. We're gonna have a big college basketball bracket pool. So start watching some college hoops. Get some teams in your mind. I know me and Webb talked a little bit, and looks like Gonzaga and Baylor are 2 teams far and away, kind of looking good, but a lot of good teams out there. I like Illinois. They got a young squad. They've been doing pretty good for us. Whole bunch of teams. But anyway, we're gonna get a big bracket pool, and the way you enter is you're gonna get a few people to like and subscribe to our stuff, and that's how you're gonna be eligible for the money prize. We haven't decided on the money prize yet.
Well, let's be clear. It's free to enter. And then you need to get whatever. We'll give out the details, X amount of likes or subscribers, and then you're going to be entered into the pool. And then at the end, you will win some money. Smitty's saying that he's maybe trying to make it seem like it's a little more fair. In my opinion, there's 2 college basketball teams this year. It's Baylor and Gonzaga. So we're hoping maybe we can pull Smitty. Believe it or not, don't let Smitty fool you. He was a Villanova fan and a Pittsburgh Steeler fan. So all this bullshit he tells you about the Saints and whatever nonsense. He was a Steelers fan, and he was a very big, both a very big Steelers and a Villanova basketball fan back in the day. So maybe we could pull a Villanova against Georgetown type situation.
It's true. We'll see what happens. Anything can happen. College hoops. We all know that. especially in the COVID, especially in the
Right,
time.
well, especially COVID, and it's all going to be Smith. I don't know if we covered this. It's all going to be in-house in Indianapolis. The entire, I guess, I don't even know how many. It used to be 64. I don't know if we're up to 68 teams or how
I
many.
don't know, 64 plus a couple or something like that.
Eventually, it's going to be 64. So it's all going to be in-house at the whatever in Indianapolis. So we'll have that up. But yeah, get a couple likes or whatever. We'll send out the details. But there will be cash money, American money paid at the end of the tournament.
Right. So start paying attention. Start paying attention to the college hoops, And just so you know, currently, if you guys want to get some picks all the time, right now, so we ended up at Sports Watch Web number 6 in postseason NFL, very solid number 6. And right now in NHL, we're number 5.
How many out of those in the? I mean, I may not want to ask this. How many in the postseason NFL?
Oh,
6 out of what? No big deal. I mean,
I got it right. I can get it right.
6 out of 10, right?
No, it's like 6 out of a whole bunch.
75 or something like that.
NFL.
I mean, the bottom line is we're very close, but
6 out of 55. 6 out of 55.
That's certainly legitimate. And we did hit later. We got hotter as it narrowed down. We were better as it got late, and needless to say, we crushed that Tampa Bay pick.
Right. And the NFL playoffs, we did well. And NCAA playoffs, we did well. So. Yeah, so there you go. But you can buy our picks anytime. I got to get back to putting our daily picks because we have picks daily and getting back to putting those on Instagram.
Go every day. Just so everyone knows, Smith and I go. We're on. I mean, I wake up a little bit early just based on the time. So we're texting gambling at literally 8 o'clock in the morning. Just so everyone knows, every day 8 o'clock. And my wife says like, "What are you doing?" It's like, "Oh, okay, yeah, you're talking."
Yeah. Texas Smith. I'm Texas Smith.
And Dad's like, and Devin's like, "Oh, that's like Smitty." I'm like, "Yep." So I mean, literally, like 8. I'm making.
He texts us a lot, huh, Dad?
I'm making pork, egg, and cheese, and the phone's going off. So I got Uncle Smitty, right? I'm like, "Yep." So we're doing NHL hockey, NBA, and NBA basketball. NCAA basketball. We're on it, man. So let's start subscribing for some picks.
Dig it. Big news today. We got a few NFL notes to talk about. J.J. Watt asked for his release from Houston, and Houston gave it to him. This team is I don't know what's going on here.
I want to rewind again if I could pull back the tape. I'm telling you, Smith, we're a producer and an intern away from being on ESPN here. We called this. We said this when this was going to happen. With as soon as this shit came down with Deshaun Watson, there's no reason to keep J.J. Watt. He's 30 years old. I personally am furious at J.J. Watt. He cost me $88,000. That fucking game against the Texans. Against the Bengals. We had the Texans.
Yeah, the Bengals.
So he can go fornicate himself with a sharp stick. He's 32 years old, 10 years in the league. I do have, prior to that game, I had a mad respect for him. He's going to end up somewhere. Of course, not a surprise to the wager makers that he's free is right. My point.
So he'll go somewhere. He'll help some team's defense out. But obviously, he's probably getting paid $1 gazillion for somebody that's old, and they're not winning anyway.
Correct.
So see you later.
Well,
I saw some people say, well, what's the difference between him wanting to leave and Deshaun Watson wanting to leave? Well, the difference is you can get something for Deshaun Watson. You don't just let a dude walk and use under contract. You can get something for him.
Thus the release versus Deshaun Watson's still on the team. And no one is trading for JJ Watt. No one. Not one person. I mean, it's you on a conditional pick. They're going to get that anyway because they released him. He's going to get signed. I mean, at the top of my head, I saw. I'll give you a couple real quick. Tennessee Titans. I did think he might go to the Packers, but they're strapped with the cap. And there was one more that I saw that may work. I forget. He's got to play in a 4-3. Right. He'll land somewhere. He'll be fine. Pittsburgh might be, but they're strapped too, but I would look at the Titans and maybe one or two other teams.
Yep. So, and then we had Webb. We get our crybaby of the week. Webb, go to guy I like a lot. We've been a fan of his the whole time here on the show, but comes out today. He's really bothered by how many times he takes hits every week. Is Russell Wilson makes I think he makes 40 million. Does he make 40 million a year?
At the time, he was the highest paid player in the National Football history ever. Now it's, I think 2 years later, he's swole because a guy or two is getting paid more. He's upset he's getting tackled, Smitt. I mean, I don't know what to fucking tell the dude. Listen, man, throw the ball. I don't know what to tell you. You're upset about getting tackled? I don't know. Don't run. I mean, it's absurd. It makes, I'm going to pull a scanner's head explode. I don't understand. He wasn't complaining 2 years ago when he had a worse offensive line when he signed the deal.
Right.
It was okay then. Maybe he sees that Dak Prescott has a little bit of wielding a little bit of power or leverage, and now obviously Deshaun Watson, but that's a completely different situation. I don't know. I struggle not to just go on a ridiculous tirade about these fucking guys, man. I cannot comprehend it. You showed us a picture earlier of Bourbon Street. It's a fucking ghost town. This dude is making $40 fucking million for 10 months of, I mean, I can't do it. He's got the best medical in the world. Literally, he has no problem. There's not a problem. Anything in the world, they're going to take care of.
Yep. And so he plays. So you're taking up 35 million of the salary cap. It's going to take away from some of the dudes. Maybe, but also maybe get rid of the ball faster.
I'm just saying, throw the ball.
Look, I love Russell Wilson as a player. I love him. I praise him all year long.
Up until a week ago,
but he does hold on to the ball. He runs around with the ball. He's playing with maybe the best young wide receiver in the game in DK Metcalf, and letting that little Lockett running all. I mean,
right, but he doesn't mention that. He doesn't say that. He didn't say we spent more. We're going to spend more money on our receivers, or we maintained KJ Wright and Bobby Wagner and the defensive. He doesn't. That's not mentioned.
Right.
He's worried about him getting hit. So I mean, I don't know. I struggle not to bang my head against this fucking wall I'm sitting next to.
Yep. So, all right, just felt like we're bringing it. We got to bring up. Look,
it's true.
I praise Russell Wilson a lot, but this was especially if he came out this week. NFL Man of the Year and all that kind of stuff. Great guy, whatever. But just,
I'd have a world of respect if he did it 2 years ago when they were negotiating the highest. He came out and said, "Listen, dude, I know you're going to give me $40 million. Give me 38 and sign a left tackle." If he said that shit, he'd be in Tom Brady's air.
Yep.
But he's not. And he didn't.
Fair enough. So what else we got to talk about this week, Webb? You got anything? You got anything off the top of your head?
You sent me some stuff. I
think we hit most of it. But I got this to say. Listen, we need everybody to share this shit. Share our YouTube page. I watched some show the other night, Webb. They got people out there watching other people on YouTube.
I cannot
clean their own houses. I was watching the show, right? I saw a show. They got people. They watched them on YouTube. They got 1 million followers.
Oh, we didn't talk about YouTube. We talk about Schottenheimer or the hockey announcer.
All right, I'll get to that in a second. So please share our stuff. And when we do the basketball bracket pool, make sure you share with some people. But they got people out there that watch other people clean their houses. I mean, I'm gonna have to get a vacuum up in
right. I'll vacuum. I'll do it.
We doing here?
I'll put a bikini on. A matter of fact,
wear one like the streaker.
Exactly. And let me tell you this, Smith. I do some research for the show. I listen to SiriusXM. They used to have a channel 204 was VSiN. I don't know what happened. That show went away. There are people getting paid money that is vastly worse than what's going on in this hour that we're doing here. It's ridiculous. I mean, I don't even know what to say. Anything you can do to help out, we're going to incorporate the people. But, like I said, anything you do, subscribe. It's absurd what's out there that's passing for entertainment on Sirius XM for sure.
All right, and fair enough. And then, look, you want to say Marty Schottenheimer, great coach, everything from Cleveland Browns, where else? San Diego Chargers, Kansas City Chiefs. Always was a great coach during the regular seasons, though doesn't have a real good playoff record.
Oh, let me
Passed away.
let me interrupt you. I was with my buddy Frankie Grabowski before. I guess there was something on there where there was some Twitter thing where he goes, "Great coach," until he, bet he couldn't win a playoff game. I'm like, can he get cold? Can you give the guy a break? I mean,
Before you fuck with him?
You're gonna rip him off right there. And then before we end, you got to give me some props for my man Roy Williams, but saying, come on, we're
Right,
playing
so-
basketball.
So they have some teams starting to bail out on the conference tournaments, and I think like Duke, Coach K has been a proponent of almost scrapping this whole season, the
So
whole
curious
year.
that
And they've
those
sucked
teams that
all-
are doing it, right?
all
So
year.
curious.
So Roy Williams is like, man, opting out of the tournament is just quitting. Well, I don't do that. I'm playing to play the games. And then other dudes are opposite, like Gino Uriyama from what's that, UConn, right?
Yeah, that's the girl. It's a women's coach. Yep.
Right. He said, and he says, look, if you're going to complain that you need the conference tournament to get into the big tournament, that you had all year to play your way in.
Oh, I agree with that.
So I agree with that totally too.
There's got to be enough.
But
games.
Roy Williams, fair enough. He's come out as a staunch, against missing out on the conference
Well,
tournament.
why? I mean, and it's curious. We just look at the teams that are bitching that don't want in. They're the teams that haven't won any games. I mean, so obviously, listen, you're going to quit on the season. Go ahead, but I mean, then there's got to be some ramifications. If you agree to tip the ball off and whenever,
Right.
obviously, if some situations arrive where you don't want to put any player, any student athlete at risk. But once you sign up, man, listen, my daughter's getting ready to go to school. I know what a college education that you're talking a couple $100,000. Play football, play basketball, guys.
Yep. Not only that, but what if you're a kid and what if your team stinks and you're one of these dudes that might have a chance to play in the NBA or something?
Same thing we said about
you get more games on tape against somebody good.
100%. Same thing we said with like if you're a fringe first round, second round, or a fringe undrafted free agent to getting drafted, of course you want to play. You're doing that player a disservice. Give them a choice.
Right.
Give the parents a choice.
So and just in the day and age that we're in with sports and all the gambling, and just a reminder about the Thrive Fantasy, they still got it going on with the NBA, NHL, all that stuff, all kinds of props. Make sure you use Wager Makers as the promo code. I thought it was funny. I was watching an NHL game the other day, Webb, and it was a goal, and they couldn't figure out whether it glanced off the guy's leg and went into the net, or just went clean into that. The dude was in front. It was a slap shot from the line or whatever, from the point.
Right.
And the dude was in front of the goalie, and they couldn't figure out. And they just kept going over and over trying to figure out. And I'm like, what the fuck's the difference? They scored. Eventually, let's move on. And they just kept talking about it. And the announcer kind of said, in today's day and age, it's important to know statistically who did the goal. If you're on DraftKings, this guy's got a goal, or this guy's got a goal, and that's what. And I mean, they reviewed it.
So was it? I mean, if it's almost if a dude slaps it from the point and then the dude hits it with his stick, then it's the other guy's goal.
Right,
yeah,
right. And I'm like, who cares? It's 1-0.
Right. It wasn't even.
Okay, I get it. I'd like to know who scored, but eventually, okay, it's 1-0. Let's move on.
Right. The question was, it wasn't a goal or not. It was like, who scored the goal?
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Exactly. So I just thought it was funny with all the betting, with the DraftKings, the FanDuel, the Thrive Fantasy, and all that kind of stuff. That even on the TV that night they were, and then once the announcer finally said it, why it was so important, I was like, well, I get it now. If you got a goal plus one,
right,
whatever
no
it is, right. What a difference it makes. So
sure.
But I just thought it was in today's day and age, it made they kept. It was like ridiculous how long, and even the play had gone on for 5 more minutes. They were still trying to figure out who scored this goal, and I was like, fuck it, it's 1-0. Right. So I just thought it was good in today's day and age with the FanDuel and the prop bets and the over/under goals scored and all that kind of stuff. It's just the age we're living in. I love it. Gamble on everything. Every second of the game.
Why not? Dude, I told you we were up. It's I got 8:26 here in Jersey right now. When we hang up, I guarantee you this is not the last communication between Smitt and I tonight. And 12 hours from now, is at 8:27 a.m. tomorrow morning, we will have communicated about gambling by then. I guarantee it.
Right. I always, after we hang up, go, hey, while we're going,
Hey, by the way,
it's since the early games are almost
What's
over.
that
I guess
number?
they're at 9 o'clock while I'm editing this thing up. I might have to watch something. So. All right. Well, this is a great Super Bowl. I was a little disappointed in the game of the Super Bowl itself, but that's the way it goes. Tampa Bay whoops some ass. So sometimes
it was one of those things that, like, you kept waiting for Mahomes or the Chiefs to do something. It just never happened. I mean, that would, to me, was the biggest shock. And as it got later, I just felt better and better. I'm like, they're going to score. We're definitely going to cover. They're going to score.
I thought they were definitely going over.
Right. Exactly.
Like Mahomes is definitely going to get two garbage touchdowns in the fourth quarter, and nobody scored anything the whole fourth quarter.
Exactly. That would have helped. We had a pretty huge box score change. Box would have helped us, maybe. Anyway, but
13 total points in the second half.
Right. Again, Matt, if you had the under in the second half, that had to be plus. I mean, that's. I don't even know if they offered that. It wasn't even in the realm of reality.
All right, so keep an eye out. I'm gonna start putting our Instagram, our daily picks back on Instagram, back on Twitter every day, and so you guys can. But also, if you're not sure, always reach out to us. The wagermakers at gmail.com is our.
Tomorrow, definitely Usman. Is today Friday?
Yes, tomorrow's the UFC. We can bring that up right now. Stephen Mellon brought it up.
Yes, thank you, Stephen, for reaching out. We did get some wager maker insider info. I don't know if Smitt wants to, if you have it there.
Got it right here. Wager makers are being told Barber will not get it done. Definitely Usman.
Usman is the favorite. Yep. It's, I think 275. I want to say Smitt somewhere around there. That's a winner for sure. Gastelum
is a winner.
Yep.
And Miller is worth a shot at that price.
That's a big number. I think it's the minus. I want to say plus the takebacks 275, something like that. And Miller was the other one. That just didn't seem like when I spoke to him, I didn't think it was. Didn't think it was going to happen. So.
And also a little entertainment wager for fun is on Vieira.
Vieira, that's later. That's a big one too. I think that's 425, Smith. That's. I mean, I was told that's a winner, but that's a number. 425. You don't want to get hurt on that. Maybe once that's going to be earlier. That's the prelim. I mean, maybe start out there, get a little.
Put a little something.
Exercise money on it. A couple, $30, something like that, and then you can that's an extra $30 you can put on Usman later. That's what I'm planning.
Next week we'll be getting into more to NBA. Usual, I'm sure some player will do something stupid. We can tell him he's an asshole. That's usually how it goes. Thank you, John Grove, for the bumper music. C. Reilly and Little Saint the Goat for their cool Wager Makers rap. You know where to find us on all the platforms. Facebook at the Wager Maker Podcast, Twitter at the Wager Makers. We got more people going on that Wager Makers Facebook talk page and just having some good conversations. Instagram at the Wager Makers. Don't forget you can buy our picks at sportswatchmonitor.com. Devin right now is going to tell you about YouTube.
Hey guys, it's Devin. Make sure you subscribe to the Wager Makers podcast on YouTube, like all their videos, and click that bell so that you turn on your post notifications and you never miss another video.
Thanks, Devin. And we're going to have Devin back on the show another day. She's got to make up for that Kansas City pick she made last week.
She owes.
And all right. Thank you all for listening. We appreciate it. We'll be back next week. Webb, take us out.
Brick by brick, baby. Thank you, everybody, for listening. I hope the production value is a little bit better. We are working. It is a moving target. We are doing everything we can to get the best product out there available. Again, it would help us out to listen to Spotify or YouTube, but we do appreciate everyone listening. And like I said, we're going to blow out this NCAA tournament. And check out our picks, man. We're hot. We're heating up. The NCAA is good. NBA is still not going to BS anybody. That's a little bit of a moving target. I don't know what's going on with the NBA, but NHL and NBA is good. So brick by brick, baby. Thanks for listening.
Welcome to the Wager Makers Podcast with Web and Smitt.
Yeah. Hey, shout out Wager Maker Podcast.
Brick by brick, baby.
Yeah.
Here comes the Wager Maker
Here I go.
Express.
I hear y'all sick of losing money cause y'all don't know how to bet. Better hit that Wager Maker podcast with Smitt and Web. They gon' show y'all how to do this. Take these notes like y'all some students. Y'all can't seem to pick them right. Well, tonight y'all lucky night. It's that Wager Maker podcast. Wager Maker podcast. Wager Maker podcast. Your bookie getting sick cause we built this brick by brick. It's that Wager Maker podcast. It's that Wager Maker podcast. It's that Wager Maker podcast. Come and place your bets with that WM Express. Let's go.